Alright, so in today's video we're going to be watching the Flatland BMX session from this recent X Games in Japan. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think, and this is the first time Flatland has been in the X Games since when?
I think they said 20 years.
Yeah, around 20 years. Alright, yeah, so we're just going to be watching, probably won't watch every bit of it, but we're going to watch a decent amount. Do our little commentary on the video.
Welcome to Zozo Marine Stadium in Japan, a stadium that is primarily used for baseball. Plays host here tonight
baseball
to
is
X
huge
Games
in Japan.
Chiba 2022 as we get set to bring an event
It would be
back here
great
the
just
X
to
Games
roll
that's
around
had
in that
almost
place and try those ramps out, you know?
Yeah, seriously. With no one watching.
Yeah, no, we'd be the only ones in there.
Welcome everyone. I'm Jimmy Coleman alongside Chris.
I forgot to mention in our last video you guys saw I took a decent spill, so I think I kind of bruised my ribs. So I'm taking a few days off from riding, but we'll be back shortly, hopefully.
It's going to be a head-to-head bracket formatted competition.
I know. I think I'm just going to start wearing rib pads whenever I ride now, because it's like, that was like a, I would say, minor crash, and it's like, missing time riding from that kind of sucks.
I mean, in Japan, this is a place that grows flatland. There's schools that are dedicated
to
art.
So, sorry, what were you going to say?
That was just cool to see BMX Flatland lit up across the stadium.
Yeah, I agree. Well, yeah, because I guess this will be like the first time I've seen it in the X Games, because I wasn't watching it back in 2002. Yeah, so we've got, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8 riders.
Here's what I don't understand. Why is it so thin with people?
I don't know.
Because
yeah.
When they ride ramps, is it bigger?
I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know, because Flatland is like huge in Japan, isn't it?
Flatland, and we're looking at our,
yeah, I don't think a regular spectator understands just how amazing ground riding is and how far it's come.
Absolutely.
And there's
Terry
going head to head. So
Repping
really, any
USA.
of these guys, it could see anyone's game at this point. Yeah.
So this first one, I know Matthias, or however you say it, I've heard of him, but and then what's this other guy's name, do you know?
I mean, you're out here, there's no ramps involved. It's literally
I don't know that guy.
flat level space.
That's is this the guy? This is the guy that's really good. Yeah, that's Hayakawa or something like that.
Yeah, but I forget how to say his name.
We have not contested this.
I remember because everyone was obviously posting clips of this on Instagram over the last few weeks, so
there's people on the
we
show.
kind of already know the results, but it's still kind of fun to watch it and just see the whole process.
Here's what I think about when I watch this. You're in a huge stadium.
Kio Hayakawa. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's not Matthias.
To set things up. Really dig both of these guys' style. Love the way Varo
I feel like it was
going
rude
right
to
into
talk
the time
about
shooting.
this
Flips the bike over to keeping
Look at
pressure
that,
on the springs,
down.
keeping it going.
I don't even remember him flipping his bike.
Varo's got a really cool style. If there's one guy that could go the
crazy.
whole 90 seconds, it would be a guy
Look
like
how
Varo.
smooth.
And then how would a guy like Hayakawa? Well, now when you see going the whole 90 seconds, you see
Oh,
there's
he's
two
doing
time
like a
clocks
thing.
up there next to each rider's name. Basically, started off, the time starts when you do your first
that's
trick.
cool.
You don't have to use all of that 90 seconds at once. You can go
Front
for 10
wheel
seconds, you
manual
can
on
go
the
for
back
30
page.
seconds. They'll stop.
Yeah, so it looks like they get a
with their
minute
hand up,
30
the time clock stops,
to
it
do
goes
their
on to the next
session.
competitor. They'll use the amount of time that they choose.
But they can
hand
stop-
up,
oh, yeah.
and it goes back to the previous rider until they've both
they can pause it
the full
when
90
they want.
seconds. Yeah, similar.
Here's
to
what
that
I was
of a
going to say.
breakdance battle.
You're in a huge stadium,
So as
you're
soon
up
as
on the
Varo's done with his
stage,
run, he
people
puts
all
his hand up
around,
to stop the
cameras
clock, and it goes
everywhere,
right
right?
back to Kio Hayakawa.
And
But notice how
and you're
Varo's
riding
going pretty
flatland
long
with
there.
no
He's already
brakes.
crossed the
extremely technical,
20
right?
seconds left
Yeah.
almost.
And if
Oh,
you're
it
just a
comes off
little
the
bit
end, a little
nervous,
bit
man, it would be
uneven.
real.
Now we get our first look
Yeah,
at
all
Kio.
those
Just think how hard
cameras.
that would be to do it. And these guys do it like it doesn't, like they don't feel the nervous, like the
Rider of the year at 20
butterflies,
years
you know?
to
It's
Yeah.
just, they just do it.
I feel like maybe they just compete so much, it's like it wears off. I mean, you should know about that. It's like,
Didn't wear off for me.
really? What about with doing shows?
Shows is, yeah, because shows are every day, you know, you can touch, there's no stress, but this is like one touch and it's like, oh, everybody's, you know, disappointed.
There's a decent amount of touches throughout this competition. It's not like, it didn't seem so taboo in this
Kio right
situation.
now. You see, he used a whole lot less time.
There's
than that
for
of
the
Varo.
what they're doing, the amount of touches was extremely minimal, I would say.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
With Varo, he had a touchdown that last run. So now
Look at
he's
that.
got 19 seconds left here.
On the back pegs.
Starts off in a rocket, goes nose
And they have
wheelie
no
to
brakes
kick,
either, it's
flips it
crazy.
around with the
Look at
hop
that
whip
steep
to
head
end things.
angle
That was a quick
and that
hit for
short frame,
Varo,
man.
as opposed to the very long length that he did it prior. So changing up the strategy.
I like Hayakawa's pedals he has. He has like those grip tape ones.
Yeah.
So just under a minute here.
Look how smooth he is. It's like his leg, like when I ride, my leg is all over the place trying to keep balance. And he's just... Yeah, watch how smooth this guy is. And his legs aren't flailing all around. His hands aren't flailing all around. It's just like... It's like he's got an automatic magnet in that bike of his just keeping him balanced. I don't know how he can do that so smooth.
To me, it seems like they're not even trying to balance. It's like it just is.
Yeah.
No challenge for them whatsoever.
If you watch though, like their legs are just barely moving. Their balance is such a finite point that it doesn't look like they're moving, but they're moving a little bit.
Opportunity to get out there and get one more trick, one more quick link in there to try to impress the judges.
Hayakawa.
I'm very much hoping that Hayakawa does this.
Colony, isn't that an Australian company?
On Instagram
I think
recently.
so.
Cool. Looking like he's getting into it right now.
I guess when they put their hand up, that's what stops the clock.
Adjusting the cranks, and I think I know why. Goes into this, jumps it over to the decade and lands.
Brakeless decade. I don't get how they do that.
I saw him stomp that. He put that on
you?
Instagram. Where he stomps both pedals. So
how do you try that? I mean, where you got to break your back like 3 times before you
get the feet off of the ground there. So this is going to be the last go here for Varro Hernandez. Just not Varro's day, showing the respect to the Japanese crowd. The Japanese are a very highly educated BMX Flatland crowd, so they know what's good and what's not. We see a couple of the street riders.
Because wait, in X Games, are you representing your country like in the Olympics, or is it you're just?
I don't think it's quite that. This is the first. This isn't the Olympics, right?
No, X Games.
Right. But I mean, so what are we talking about? The Olympics?
Well, like in the Olympics, you know, it's like each rider, each athlete is representing their country. Like, is that do they do that in the Olympics, or is it kind of just like?
I think in the Olympics, it's a big deal.
In the X Games, do they do that?
But I think it's like motocross. They show where everybody is from.
Yeah.
The judges will talk it over and basically decide which rider.
I'm sure the people that are from where they are happy.
That next round.
Absolutely.
As we take a look at some
in Japan, I mean, I guess it makes sense to have the first flatland back in Japan, because isn't Japan like a hotbed for BMX Flatland?
From what I hear. I hear there's like young kids that are really good, male and female.
Yeah, I see tons of videos on Instagram of that. Oh, look at the wheel, or the...
It looks kind of like a clear cut winner to me.
He's got hub guards on.
His rims are like, have special paintings.
He's running a hub guard in the back. I wonder if he
it's a lot of different tricks that are linked up together, but the idea is that you want to get out of these.
That's what I was wondering too. Is like, do these guys strictly ride flatland and nothing else, or do you think they're good at everything? It's just they focus on flatland.
I don't know. I was wondering that too. Like, did they ride those really short bikes on like a half pipe?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you know like what size bike Hoffman rides?
Hayakawa is going to move on into that next round. Again, great showing there by Varro Hernandez, but he gets eliminated here in our opening bracket of competition.
Okay. Are we gonna watch the whole thing?
No, we can just choose like the ones we want, but I kind of want to watch the next one because it's Matthias and Terry.
He does this backwards, back wheel. Jesus. It's a reverse manual on the back wheel, but he does it in circles on the pedals.
Matthias does?
Yeah.
It went on its own path. You know, they have these big events.
I'd be so nervous.
And watch for that trick from Terry Adams where he completely goes over the bike. The bike goes under him and he goes over it.
It looks like our next
and what you were talking about, Terry, because like I was saying the other day, it's like, although these guys are doing a lot of similar tricks and it's all flatland sort of related to each other, you can tell they all have a very different style in the way they do it.
Yeah.
And like, for example, Terry, you said kind of does everything like in slow motion, it seems like.
Right.
Do you have like more to say about that, or like what?
I don't think their tricks are so close as we would think. It's just it appears like they're spinning in circles, but you know, if you got your foot on, if you're doing a trick but you got it on the opposite peg, that throws everything off. It's a whole different trick, you know. Put your hand. To define what is different is so minute.
Yeah.
But it makes a huge difference. So you got to kind of.
And
Exactly.
Flatland here,
It's like they're just spinning so quickly. It's hard. You really gotta know your shit to know what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
But it's
like that
cool.
one guy, Moto, does it with his foot on the handlebar and one on the seat.
That was insane.
Okay, watch this. Look at it, he's got his front brakes. Got his fingers on his front brakes.
Style of riding here.
That's
Getting our first look at Mr. Terry Adams. Terry has really switched
Look
up
at
his
that.
approach to riding. Oh, he dabs the foot, he puts up the hand.
And I
His
forgot to
flag is
mention we're
over.
watching this obviously on the
Not what
X
he
Games
wanted
channel, so
for
if
his
you're not already
first leg.
subscribed,
Now,
be
Matthias
sure to
Dandois,
do
the
that.
feeling I know
You can
how
blow
he's
it
gonna
up.
start
Yeah, I'm
his
just
run. He
making
likes to
sure
hype
we're
up the
recording
crowd,
still. Okay, good.
Gets the crowd into it. He loves to do the 540 hop. You'll see him hop to 180. You know, do a
Matthias
big
Dandois.
540 hop. That's
Yeah, watch his
typically
first
how
move.
he
It's a
starts his
180
line.
to a
This is loosens him
540.
up. Check
180,
him out.
540.
And there it is. Just that's how he loosens up. That's absolutely effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthias
He's
has
so
a style
smooth.
all his own.
Yeah. Look at
Oh, look how he hooks the.
how he's
the seat
standing on
his
the
leg, takes
was on the
hands off
outside
during
of the
that
circle.
spin,
His peg.
going to the snake spin, pulling it back around.
Big old camera crane moving behind you.
He spins
No
so fast.
hands.
Look at him taking the hands off, locking the pedal behind his calf, which allows him to take his hands off. Sometimes he spins the
insane.
bars.
I wonder if his eyes are even
Such
open. He just
control.
closes
This is his
them.
first ever X Games appearance.
Here's what's
He's a
fascinating is,
nine-time
okay, like right there, his bike is
BMX
actually
Flatland
stopping,
champion.
right? And a few moves later, all of a sudden he's rolling backwards really fast out of that same routine, you know?
Yeah.
He's a 9-time BMX Flatland World
The bar
champion.
spin. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that's cool.
Rocket spin, check him out.
He's just keeping this one going. He's just keeping the smooth links rolling here.
Over the top, look at how much spinning.
Going over to the time machine. That was a good first run from Matthias.
machine.
Yeah, he
Yeah, so that's cool. They're still doing
quite a
tricks
bit of
from
time
back
right there.
when we were
Made
riding.
excellent
Time
use of
machine,
it
right?
there.
Now, like I
Decade.
was saying before, Terry
Well,
Adams is
the
taking a
time
different
machine
approach
is
to
his
his flatland riding.
name of a trick,
He's
but he
up at
didn't do it.
3:30
He
in the
did
morning
it.
working
I
out.
do
He's
it
focused on his
totally
diet.
different.
Yeah,
He's
but
getting
still, it's
instruction
cool.
from Marty
Look at how
Kolpa,
slow
who's
he's
a
going.
three-time X Games medalist. This is kind of signature Terry Adams right here with this move. Jumping to the back pegs.
Oh, he's got the
He's
Murano
got a lot of
slips
these
on.
big,
The Etnies.
explosive moves.
I'm telling
All
you,
about
that
taking
jump right
big
there,
chances, big
If I
risks.
could even get up there, that jump looks like
It's
10
really
miles
fun.
when you're on top of the bike.
Dude, yeah.
Ending
and
things up
Breakless
with the
Decade.
right there. That was a good showing. That was the showing that I
Just
think he
can't
wanted
even
in
get
that
my
first
head
link.
around that.
Yeah,
I love watching
9
Terry
seconds
ride
off the
because
clock right there.
it's so precise but slow
Step
enough that
down,
you can
raise the
understand what
hand,
he's
save as
doing.
much time as you possibly can. But yeah, that was definitely a much better start here in his second round.
Look how smooth it is.
Matthias getting back into it. Now, if you notice, Matthias is a guy that he can spend as
And
much
Matthias
time on the
isn't
back
small
wheel
like
as he
most
does on the
riders. He is
front.
like really
And
tall
whereas
and
you see
big,
a lot of
huh?
guys will either do
Like
only
usually
front
these
wheel
pro
tricks,
guys are
only
really
back wheel
short
tricks.
and
Matthias
like
Yeah,
really
he looks
mixes
pretty
it up.
tall.
He's really
Yeah.
good at
Doesn't look like he has any
improvising
fat
and,
on him.
and changing for what he has to do.
Look at this. Back wheel is
And
like
I'll
2
keep
inches
him
off the
bike
ground.
spinning,
Nice.
and he is hyped on that right now.
Just ended that one with 9 seconds left. So he's gonna
Matthias, or Matthias,
go.
however, I wish I knew how to say his
Keep your eye on
name.
Terry
He's
Adams
got
here. I
a
have
really
feeling we're gonna
good
see some
variety of
big
tricks.
He does a lot of
Yeah.
tricks in which he jumps
Think he
from
can do
one
anything.
end of the bike to the other,
Look at that,
flipping the
man.
handlebars around, keeping the bike up.
The bike is barely moving. Look at it, it's roll. It's stopped and it's actually rolling.
That's insane when they drop the handlebars like
Well,
that.
watch, here's where he goes
Coming
over.
up here, Jimmy.
Okay, watch, it's gonna go all the way over.
Oh, and he
That's
misses it.
insane.
Unfortunate for try the save.
How do you
puts
even
the
come
hand
up with
stops
doing
the
that?
clock.
That's
You know, I've seen
crazy.
him make that trick plenty of times. It's very
Yeah, how do you get your head to go?
uncharacteristic
Okay,
of Terry Adams.
body breaks. We're gonna jump through all these
Maybe
metal
he still
pieces and
has
try to
33
roll out of
seconds
it.
on his clock.
I was just going to say, he still has quite a chunk of time left here.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
Terry still has
regardless of
33
what
seconds.
happens in each attempt, you do get to use all
I
of
like
that
how he does that.
90 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like
the
a
final seconds tick
like a
down
shape
there
of
for
an egg
Matthias
kinda.
Dandois.
man. He's just got his pumping down.
Yeah.
And
He went
that's
from
a
the
solid
pegs
showing.
to
He
the
had
Pedals.
pedals. That was great while he was
Impressive
spinning.
I didn't even
Before.
notice that the first time I watched this.
He
Yeah.
had 3
I
impressive
know, I'm
showings.
seeing like
Each
new
one
things
different.
that I didn't
A lot
realize
of
happened
variety.
before.
Variety is important here. Showed you the back wheel tricks, showed you the front wheel tricks. Terry Adams has to answer with something incredibly difficult, and I think he knows it right now.
Terry will take us out
Scary Terry.
of this bracket here. 30 seconds left to go here.
So insane.
Watch this.
Jumping over the bike.
He
right
went all
there.
the way over the bike.
Get it.
Flipping the bike back around, cross-footed hitchhiker.
Look at, he's barely moving.
Yeah, it's like
during his link. It's on the edge
Oh,
of the
what?
stage right there, coming out cross-footed and still had the presence of mind to look up at the time clock. Check this out. Is he going to do the same trick that we saw him try?
Do a cross-legged.
No way.
That was so difficult. And he is hyped on that.
Yeah.
Freaking nuts.
Terry recently posted a photo of him versus 2 years ago. He's dropped a lot of weight. He's solid muscle right now. He's taking his diet very seriously. He's taking his
routine is insane.
Very seriously. He's doing a lot.
He wakes up like 3 a.m. every day, 4 a.m.
He does?
Goes running, laps in the pool, yoga, stretching, workout. And then he rides all day.
All day long, every day?
Yeah.
Just consistent from beginning to end.
Sounds like,
but did he have enough
well, I don't know if
difficulty
Dennis
in
did
his
all the
runs
stretching and
to
stuff, but Dennis
advance?
McCoy rode a lot.
Yeah.
So again, no scores. The judges talk it over, and they decide which rider is moving on.
See how easy, even at the end, he just flips a 180.
Matthias.
Like, just to, you know, go, yeah, it was good. I mean, I got to think when I'm trying to do.
Opening round
Look at
here.
the veins
It's four
popping
head-to-head
on
brackets
Terry,
to
holy
start off this
shit.
opening round here at BMX Flatland. So it is Matthias Dandois who will be moving on to the next
Matthias
round.
Dandois.
And you see the
Both
camaraderie
great
and the
runs.
respect between
Terry did
these
an
riders.
unbelievable job.
They all
Yeah.
have each other's backs. They're all excited to be here, to have Flatland back on the world stage.
Yeah, oh yeah, hearing the stuff or seeing the stuff on Terry's Instagram of what he had to go to just to get to Japan, like all the checkpoints and what he, like the COVID protocols. I think he said when he landed in the airport, he spent like 4 or 5 hours just to get out of the airport doing COVID checkpoints and stuff
That's
like that.
after, what,
Flying.
15-hour flight?
Road Warrior.
Screw that, man.
20 years
Not
doing
worth
a lot
it.
of shows, a lot of Flatland legends
Not
such as
worth
Trevor
it.
Meyer.
Should we watch this matchup, or do you want to skip
Gabe
to
Speed.
a
So,
different one?
What are some of the biggest changes that you're seeing based on your expert?
Yeah, let's go to the
You
final.
know, you spend a lot of time and you're in some of the worst parking lots on the planet. You're doing a lot of state.
Let's
county
watch,
fair shows,
what's it called?
and
The
for a lot of
one
that, we
before
did
the
a lot of
finals as well,
NBA
because I think
halftime shows
that's,
as well, which is
what's
a
his
different set
name?
of problems because the floor is
I don't
so
remember
slippery
what this
and
guy
you don't
did.
have a
What
lot
did
of
he
room
do?
to work.
We didn't
with.
watch him before.
It's just, you know,
Well, let's
watching this
check it
evolve
out.
over the
Gomez.
years, and I mean, just
Versus
His
someone.
logo looks like Redline, doesn't it?
A little bit. I think it's
some of the
9
spins
yard,
and
it's
whatnot. A guy
called.
like Matt Wilhelms, who I
Yeah.
got to do shows with GT and some of the
frame.
later years. I worked for
Well, it's
them.
kinda big,
Just
huh?
the
Looks like
speeds
a
are insane,
titanium.
and just
He's
like
got a
how
lot of
fast they
space in
link
his
these
form.
things up. And I mean, some of the things that we saw Terry Adams doing was crossfoot moves and just
I wanna
jumping
try a
for
shorter
different parts of
frame.
the bike. I mean, it's.
You said shorter rear end or top
I'm so
tube?
happy to have this back at the X Games.
Like what?
And we
length
got
are you
our
thinking?
rider in red, ready to go.
Well, half inch.
Mr.
I
Dicky
don't know if it'll
Gomez.
make a difference,
Dicky's
but-
been around for a long, long time. He's competed in a few X Games
Wow.
himself. Oh, uncharacteristic stepping off a little bit early on that one. Moto Suzuki is our next guy up.
You're already
One of
going
This
the
guy
backwards.
does some really cool
a
moves.
front wheel specialist. Watch some of the stuff
Moto.
that he can do on his front wheel. He can do a trick.
Okay, he's
which is in a-
36.
Oh, those
Holy
bars
shit.
just flipping so fast.
And what would the guy, the
Look at
Italian guy, or
trick
the other,
where he's
whatever the other
hitchhiking
guy's name
and
is, he's like in
flip
his
the front
40s.
wheel
44.
with his feet.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh yeah,
And he's pumping it.
Keeping the speed going and
with his foot on the
solid
handlebar or
first
the
show
crossbar,
for
right?
Moto
You have nothing, no leg off. You know how we use our legs and hands to balance and everything?
Yeah.
He has, what's he doing? What's he balancing with?
Runs a Flatland school in Chiba as well.
Did you hear that?
What?
Chiba runs a Flatland school in Chiba as well.
We have a Flatland
So brings
school
back in
in
Nicky
Chiba.
Gomez.
What is that? Is that like an
he's
academy?
having
That's
a hard time
crazy.
today.
Watch this
His
trick.
bike is all titanium, so it's super light, it's super strong, super stiff.
See that trick? It was like a tail whip to a...
Did you hear what he said about his bike?
Deep bag of
All
tricks.
titanium.
And he has a whole arsenal to choose from. Showing you the consistent run now. He's messed up a couple times. Flipping the bike back around, going rocket. Keeping it spinning. Flipping the bars back around.
Look at both feet on the peg.
Setting up for something here.
Going, I mean,
Slowing down a little bit.
Oh,
and he
that is
flips the bike back
insane.
around. I've seen him pull that trick countless times. Let's see
That's
if he
cool
can
that
his
got
third
his
hit.
headphones in. He's just listening to
he's got
music
time for a
while he
little
rides.
bit
They
more.
all
Yeah,
are, I
he's
think.
still got plenty of time, like 40 seconds. He got into a bit of a groove there
Moto.
on that
Moto.
He
side.
starts all his tricks off with the bars backwards. Have you noticed
Back
that?
in Moto Sasaki here, who's got a lot of time. Took a little over 20 seconds off.
Look at that,
last
like nothing.
go around and picking up where he left off there.
Yeah, and you really have to keep an eye on his handlebars and how many times he's able to flip the handlebars around, jump around, going
Wow,
cross-footed,
that's
keeping it
insane.
spinning. Like I said, a front wheel specialist.
Front wheel specialist.
I would really love to see him do.
Look at how smooth that
wheel flip
transition
that
was.
I've seen online. He had
That's
a really
awesome
bad
when he
angle.
does
That
that.
is so
Trying
cool
it,
looking, right?
And that's another. He kind of ended the run the same way
I wish
he
I
did
could
in the
do
first.
that. I want to learn how to do that.
But he's got about 30 seconds
Can you
left.
teach me how to do that?
Oh, I do that. I wouldn't even know where to start, man.
Vicky had some problems there in that first run. Got into a bit of a groove there the second go around.
Look at how easy he just pulls that front end up. Whoa, that would be cool.
I think
What
he'll
would
get
that
it.
Prior
be?
next game's appearances, his best
I wish
finish
you
was
would try that
fifth.
again.
It's like a tail whip, but he's just holding on to like the handlebar, like with one hand.
And then he goes right back into the trick he was doing, like a peg wheel.
Yeah. For 1 foot
Going back
take
where he
off to
knows.
1 foot landing.
Back on that front wheel.
Look at that, both feet crossed over the frame.
Cross-footed, just spinning around, looking so casual. Style is
That's
important.
possible.
It's just effortless with the pump when he's in the
was
rotations
awesome.
there. He makes it look so smooth, so dialed.
This guy
I don't
has
know
some
if you
cool
saw it, but
tricks,
he
Gomez.
jumps to his front
Yeah,
wheel.
that,
You know, it may not be his
Almost
day,
like
but
he's
he's
trying
got
to bend
some
his
really
front wheel.
interesting
He is
tricks
so
he's working
tight,
on.
that
jumps
one
on
he
that
keeps
front
trying
wheel
to
back
do
the
where he
bike.
whips the whole bike around. I know he
Going
can do that. It's
cross-footed,
just,
one is back.
that's
Look.
mind blowing.
A little bit better of a showing on this
All right,
run.
watch his feet rotate on the pegs as he's riding.
Super good showing from Vicky Gomez on that one.
He put his hand up, but Moto doesn't have any more time left, so keep going, Vicky.
Good.
I've done some
Almost.
shows with Vicky. He's a true showman. He's, like I said before, he's got a deep bag of tricks to choose from. I'd love to see him get that bike flip that he was trying in 2 previous attempts.
Look how much their feet bend around the pegs. It's
Yeah.
like they're like gripping on with their
Yeah.
There you
feet.
go, Jimmy.
Joe Sickman said that. He said when he's doing glides on front or back wheel, his peg, he's rolling around his pegs all the time with his feet.
Him and
That's
Moto,
insane.
but man, that was for Moto Suzuki. That was like a demo.
I would really like
And
to
I know
see that
he
guy
has
in red
more
ride
that he can
Gomez.
show us.
Yeah.
See him ride
Yeah,
again.
he was in a groove. I mean,
He's got
he
some
just
really
looked
interesting
so calm,
tricks.
so cool, so collected out there.
And
Let's
you'll
watch
notice that a lot of these
this
riders,
next one
the way
with
that they
Matthias.
ride is very
The semifinal.
Clock stops and then it goes
Yeah.
on to your competitor, and then you trade off back and forth until both of you
Matthias
collapse.
and
Your 90-second
Why I keep
time
sound-
clock. And no scoring.
Hayakawa.
The judges talking over
Hayakawa,
and decide
yeah.
which
and what's that guy's
athlete
name
is the better
again?
of the two,
Okay.
and we'll move on into
The guy that's like
final
47
round.
or something.
So once
44.
again, we
44.
bring in Matthias Dandois,
44,
a pair
and he's
of
in the
Brits,
finals.
9-time
That's
BMX Flatland
impressive.
World
He puts in the
Champion.
trash, please.
He likes to go out there. He likes to have a lot of fun. He likes to hype
How
up
old?
the
Yeah, he's
crowd.
32. Okay.
Notice he's not starting off his length.
Look
the
at-
same
he
way
starts
that we saw
off
him
with
do
a
it
lot of
before,
speed.
starting off with the snake
See how
spin,
far he dips
going
his
in, taking
bike?
the hands off, locking that seat behind his calf,
That's crazy.
keeping it going.
Sorry.
Loves to.
Look at it, it's like-
so
it's like he's
fast, taking
dancing
those
with the
hands off
bike.
again,
No matter what
locking that
direction the bike
pedal
goes,
under
he's
his
like,
calf,
he
so it
knows
allows
it's
him
going
take
to work
his hands
out.
off,
Yeah.
Continue spinning while keeping the bike up. Matthias looked really good in that first
And his
round.
foot is like switching sides and
It's going to be interesting
flipping
to
around.
see
There's so
how
much
Kio
going on here.
can respond to what Matthias is
And
doing.
you were like you were saying before, it's like this is how he rides in competition.
Yeah.
And
Look at that.
he said guys a lot of times will usually ride better when they're not even when they're just on their own or whatever.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because they got their really hard tricks that you're not going to risk showing in public. You know?
It was all smooth. It was all
And,
fluid. I mean,
so you
Picked up where he
know,
left off
watching
from
this
that
guy
last
riding
round.
around
I
probably
talked to
insane.
Matthias before the event. He said he's
He's
got
20.
a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, so he can really pivot, no pun intended, from what the other riders are doing. He can adjust on the fly. We're getting our
Look at opposite
Kio
pedal. He's not
Hayakawa
on
here.
the pedal he's supposed to be on. It's like,
They always are, everything's backwards.
The host
Yeah.
country
Like
here
crazy.
in Japan.
Did you see that guy in the crowd? He's got mind is blown.
The
He's like,
host country here in Japan.
Kio started learning flatland tricks when he was just 12 years old. Says he was inspired early on by seeing videos of Australian rider and X Games Los Angeles flatland champ and one of our judges here, Simon O'Brien.
Oh, yes, there's Simon O'Brien, a bit of a legend in flatland.
And now he's pedaling backwards.
Look at that.
Going into this spin, check him out, going into the time machine.
Jeez.
Oh, and he pulls it off.
He even like kind of power wheelied out of it, you know?
He's done with that link. His foot is completely backwards on the pedal.
Was that his first run? That was a 40-second run? Jeez.
There's so many different versions of the time
I don't
machine.
understand this time
Cross-footed,
thing.
the
I don't
switch-footed,
want to understand
and
it.
it just happens
It's
so
kind of
fast
screwy.
that it's very difficult to call.
It's kind of screwy.
Back on the front wheel. He's one of the
That guy, what's that guy's
has
name?
a lot of variety
In the
both
crowd.
on the front and back
I don't know.
wheel.
I know he rides a
Got to
green
see what he's
bike,
doing
and he
both.
is a nose
Doesn't just
manual
focus on one or
master.
the other. But he's been virtually flawless all evening.
Yeah, he
This
was on
guy,
point to that
Matthias,
opening
he's
round,
really,
and that
I'm
first
so
run was,
impressed. Look at that. That was like a
flawlessly
boomerang.
in the semifinals. Look,
This
Backwards.
is signature Matthias through this. He likes to get that bike down low, and usually you see him take his hands off and keep the bike spinning. Didn't do it on this time.
Look at there's somehow. Look at that. That is so clean.
I mean, no bobbles right there. Not
my
once did
God.
that ever look jerky or mechanical. I mean, it was
The
one
bike is
fluid
so
motion.
low to the ground.
With Matthias, style is
Watch for
everything.
this backwards
Style
manual.
is coming
on
up
the
that
page, it
hybrid
circles
flatland
in it.
street style. And what you just saw right there was
Matthias.
evidence of that as we take
Hey,
another look at
Hayakawa?
Kio Hayakawa.
No. Watch their feet and how they switch pegs and stuff. Look at that was on the tire.
Wow.
He's pedaling.
The way that he got into this trick, so crazy.
Oh my
Again,
God.
landing
They
on-
just have
ending it with his
what?
foot backwards
Sorry.
on the
That
pedal. It's
is.
a hard one to call
I
right
can't
now
do
between
it, but I have an
Matthias and
idea
Kio
of
right
how
now.
difficult it is.
Yeah, this
And
is
he
a
just
chess
does it
match
like
going on right now.
walking
They
in
just
point.
keep
To me, it
answering
seems
back
like they
on
just have mastered being able
Matthias
to
has 1
manipulate the
second
bike,
left on the clock.
however they want in
Yeah.
any position at
Yeah.
any time from any part of the bike. So it's like they're just going in all these different positions that they've just mastered. It's
Just had
insane.
to hop it out, keep it
Yeah,
going,
almost-
going to the
almost look at
junkyard
that.
to Decade, and he slips the pedals,
Almost
lands on
like
the
it's a
seat.
unicycle
That was a good
without
showing.
pedals.
Yeah.
And it's just
Couple
they just
times
use
saw
the
the
bike to
landings
use
off
for
it.
balancing. In theory, that sounds possible. But when you go out and try this stuff, there's so much involved, you know?
Was it
What's he
perfect?
gonna do
No,
with
but it
1
was a
second?
save, and he made it happen. I mean, talk about forcing your will on that one.
there it is.
Oh, I love it.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's insane.
Keep an eye. Now, Dandois been known to do this boom. Well,
Nice.
he tends to- he
No one
calls
else
it-
is doing that, I
Is
don't
Dandois
think.
seeing
Really?
something?
I've
I
never
know
seen
that he
that
has
either.
more in the tank. I know he has a couple tricks that I haven't seen him do yet, and this is a hard one to call, Jimmy. That was
To me, I think
Those
Matthias won
rounds,
that
they were
one,
just
but I
answering
wouldn't know.
back.
Yeah.
Here we're gonna look at Matthias.
Matthias.
Again, virtually
I'm never
flawless
gonna get
all
that
day
right.
long.
It's like that guy was correcting us. Huh?
Reaching over with that other foot. He's a tall, lanky guy, but his top tube looks like it's 21 1/4, whereas a lot of these guys are riding.
That
small
ram looks like that
like,
titanium
his bike looks
company that like does
a
all that
street
crazy
bike.
painting that Scotty was
Look at some
posting about.
highlights here.
Scotty's running
Kio.
a composite rim,
Back to Matthias.
graphite,
That's crazy.
Volley after
With
volley
handbrake.
here. Look at that.
on
One
the
hand
graphite.
off,
I don't
one
know
foot
how that
off.
works.
Huh.
Now I like this a lot. This
Look
is
at that.
where
Look at how he's
Kio
just
goes from
coasting.
Yeah.
This is where he had to save
And look
it
at it,
right
he
here.
stopped.
This is where he went into the
And he's got to
junkyard.
pump it and get
He
it
just has to
going.
hop
How
it
do you
out a
do
little
that?
bit.
See him lift his rear wheel off the ground
Yeah.
like to correct,
Hang on,
get his balance.
hang on.
It, like,
That was a
gave him
heck of
more
a save
speed,
right there. That
too.
was his last run.
Oh man.
So Kio is going to move on.
Hayakawa. I would say that
Well, I think Dandois was a
that
little
was a
bit
toss-up. I
consistent,
mean, if
but I think
Matthias
Kio
lost,
had
it
a more
wasn't by
difficult
much.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's
that
why
was
he's
definitely a
moving on.
close one.
So
But that wasn't.
to explain that,
They both
again,
had
no
insane
scoring. It's the
runs.
judges having a conversation and deciding which rider moves on. We don't want to say it's overall impression. They're looking at. I mean, they're breaking down the minutia
Look
of
at him.
each and every single trick.
He did that nose manual to a
Decide,
G-turn.
have that conversation to decide.
That's cool.
Look at that, right back into it.
on into that next round.
I had a conversation with Ephraim Catlow, our head.
Bronze medal round with Matthias Dandois and Bodo Sasaki.
So,
Welcome back, everyone, to Zo. FIBA 2022. We are down to our final 2 matchups here in the return of BMX Flatland to the X Games. Jimmy Coleman here alongside Chris Doyle calling the action here. We started off with our bronze medal match. Matthias Dandois going up against Moto Sasaki. So these two are going to have to battle it out to see.
Do you want to watch this one, or should we go to the finals?
With the bronze,
finals.
Again, each rider has 90 seconds to try to impress the judges out here. You go out, you do a link of tricks, you put your hand up, and ironically, it's the oldest competitor in the field. Actually, the oldest competitor out here at X Games.
So they're going to have Flatland X Games every year now, right?
In the field.
I don't know.
Alex Jumelin, 44 years old.
What were you going to say?
Hayakawa at 20 years old.
Alex is 44.
So they're both assured a medal.
He's twice the age of that guy.
Medal are
That's
they
crazy.
Walking out of here with Alex Jumelin on your left.
He's
Kio
all clean.
Alex
on your
Jumelin.
right. Alex is going to start us off.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from France. Okay.
But how about that performance by Moto Sasaki there at the end of that last matchup to earn that bronze?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the hardest tricks we've seen so far this evening. Look at the respect
I like his tattoos.
between these guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hugging and just
Takes 44 years to collect them.
looks like he's about to cry. Just to be in this position on the world's biggest stage, to be in his home.
It's cool how even the riders who are already out, they just stay to watch the rest. You know, they're all into it.
I would love to see him clean up that junkyard to decade. We haven't seen him really land on the pedals clean yet. We saw him one time land on the seat. We saw him one time miss the pedals completely.
So here we go. Alex Jumelin gets the party started here in the
Boomerang
gold
going
medal
backwards.
matchup again. 90 seconds per
Oh.
rider. Who is taking the gold? It all comes down to this last bracket right here, and Alex Jumelin picking up right where he left off. He's been
Every rider has their own.
consistent
They're
out here
all
tonight.
doing different tricks, you know.
And that was just shy of 20 seconds.
Yeah, they all have their own
the
unique
tricks that
like
he's just
style
able to
and
fit
tricks
so
they do.
much in
This
such a
guy's a
short amount of
machine,
time.
man.
It's got to be hard. I wouldn't want to be a
Just gets out there,
judge in one
puts
of these
it in
contests.
fast,
No.
Save that energy.
What is that called when they're on the? Oh wow! How did he save that?
Well, here's one thing. Yeah, he hits the peg.
Oh, Kio!
When you're over the top and
Saves it
pedaling like that,
somehow. Jumping to
and
that
you don't
back
have
peg.
a direct
Didn't think
drive
he
rear
was gonna
hub,
pull that one together.
you
He
can't
pulls it
over
out.
pedal because you don't have any brakes to
Yeah.
stop yourself. You got to pedal just right, you know, in a tight
Around the
circle
back.
on a weird balance point.
I will say I don't think this guy touches or makes any mistakes like the entire competition.
Got a long link going here.
See so many tricks. in
That's
this
cool
link
right there,
Look at
that move.
speed.
He's
Jumelin's
going
on
backwards.
his feet. He's right back to the pedals. That was a
He's stoked.
big link right there
He's
for
spreading
Kio
the stoke.
Hayakawa.
Wow, what is Alex Jumelin going to
Okay, now
answer
watch
with
Alex.
after seeing that?
Look at hands are up. Flips her around. Goes in that elbow glide.
Check out Jumelin.
What,
So
backwards?
much control. Look at that.
In the crowd, we have some of the best.
They just pick up the bike and they're like,
"Oh,
"Ah,
big
big
ride." Watching Alex Jumelin finish things off with the decade right there. I don't know. This is a close one to call.
Yeah, you got some of the skate crowd lurking in the background there, checking out some Flatland. I mean, for some of those guys, they're not even old enough to remember the last time we contested this thing at the X Games.
You know, flipping the bars around. This is kind of like his signature. How he likes to link things up, gets those pedals straight. Oh, and look at this.
That's going backwards, man.
Going back over to the other peg.
Now he's on the outside peg
So
on the
consistent.
and going
Like a
inside
quiet
circles.
competitor in this. Oh, he
what?
pulls it out. At the end of his run, I never think he's going to get it together, but he always gets it together right at the end.
Just pulls it in at that last second, so he's going to tap out with about
Alex
18
is from
seconds
France?
left to go. Alex
that's
still
what I
has
said, yeah.
53
Alex Jumelin.
seconds left to try to.
He's so
impress
good
the
at that.
judges
Oh.
here. This
Look
is our
at
gold
this.
medal
Oh
matchup
my
here. Look at
God.
this. The freshman
Jesus.
Alex Jumelin going up
What
against
is that
the
called?
Japanese.
He's doing a nose manual
Kio
into 360s,
Hayakawa.
into a nose manual, into a
The
360.
originality
I mean, the back tire
that
doesn't
Jumelin
touch in
does.
between.
So that's not a
Those
G
G-turns
turn.
like that just keeping all the pressure on
You
the
know,
front
it's
wheel.
hard.
That is
He does
so
it in a G-turn, but I think that
so
was like a
strength.
360 type thing. Maybe it was a G-turn.
Okay. It's insane though. Either way.
Kio.
Hayakawa.
Oh my God.
First mistake I've seen him make, I think.
He's got 9 seconds left. He'll get one more go at it.
Oh wow, Alex still has a lot of time.
So Alex, again, with that strategy of quick hits, I mean, he's still got quite a bit of time.
Oh wow.
Love
He
the way
took his
stuck
hands
that
off
wheel
for a second there.
Keeping that back wheel off the ground. A little bit different
His
approach
bike doesn't
here.
look too short.
He switches so fast.
Oh my God, you see his foot go from the front to the back tire?
Yeah.
That is so difficult.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy how they can go stop it, do a whip, and then keep the spin going.
Yeah.
Keep all their momentum.
Probably be it for Kio here. Last chance to see him in this gold medal matchup.
Looks like he's
Look at that. When he
chasing
rolled
the
on
same
his
line
tire,
all
they
evening,
do
just the
scuff a
pedals.
little bit.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
Passing the bike
Everything is
around
so
his back.
quick.
This is where he goes into that junkyard to decade. He lands
Junkyard
it clean.
decade.
That's the cleanest he's done that all
I like how they
year. We saw
do
him
that
one time
turn.
miss
It
the
looks like a
pedals.
turn down,
We saw
but
him
they're
one
on the
time land
ground.
his
You know what I
seat.
mean?
Yeah.
But
Cool.
he gets it when it counts. So thankful not to
Okay,
be
now
a
watch
judge
when he does his
during
nose
these
manuals.
events.
So the final 26 seconds belong
I like
to
how he
Alex
starts his
Jumelin, as
runs
you
that way.
mentioned.
Just gets
Before.
into it.
This will be his first.
Look at it, it's like
X Games
nothing.
medal.
He's barely moving.
Well, the
That's
floor
just
is
going
all
into
good, just
360. Look
keeping
at
the
that.
rotations going. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
That is so hard to keep that bike
He's got
going
plenty
in
of
a
time if he
circle
wants to get that one.
and not whipping out into a G-turn.
too many hiccups out of him tonight. As I'm saying, he's getting a medal. He'll
And he
be
doesn't
out
even use
silver.
brakes
He'd love
to
to
do
leave with
it.
the gold, but either way, he's getting out of
He,
here.
look,
with
he's
some X
jerking
Games
the
hardware.
bike straight though.
He was chasing that one pretty hard. We saw the 720 pivot on
How,
the front
who
wheel.
would
We
you
saw
say
the
won
1080.
that, based on your opinion?
Wow.
Um,
And again,
Hayakawa.
camaraderie,
but
sportsmanship.
I mean,
Very
Hayakawa is
nice.
just,
You
he's
know,
just
we've
polished,
had
man.
some
Yeah.
Advanced tricks, but
head-to-head battles out here.
I really like Jumelin because
Well, you-
he had completely different tricks, and he's taken nose manuals
oldest
to
competitor
the
in
absolute
X
limit.
Games,
Yeah.
Chiba, or
You know,
we
everybody
see
has. Terry
the
Adams has a
new
unique
Fresh
style.
Kio.
They all have their own tricks. You know, it may look similar, but there's a lot of diversity between the two, or
Really?
between all the riders.
Yeah. Even as someone like me who doesn't know all the tricks or the names of everything, it's like just watching it as like a novice fan, so to speak. It's you can tell there's a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
I couldn't name every trick, but it's like you can see like each rider has their own style. Like you were saying, they do a lot of, even though like some of it might look similar because of how much they're spinning, you can see the intricacies are a lot different.
See how quick he just shifted his front tire in a 180. These one push, one push.
And they're constantly jumping from pedal to peg to backwards on the pegs and all these different positions. It's crazy. While the bike's flipping around and moving, it's just insane.
I like how when Alex is he's barely moving, he hops and he's just in a nose.
Yeah, I know.
Is that it?
Hats off to you,
For like
Alex.
Matthias, I think it was, how easy he just pulls the front of the bike up. It's like they have it on a string. It just comes to them.
Yeah.
Who's walking out of here? And it's Kio Hayakawa.
Hayakawa.
Is your gold medalist.
Does Matthias have another hat on already?
And
Jeez.
Alex Jumelin takes home the
Went
silver.
from the bucket to the beanie.
Dude, I mean,
Wow.
he looks like he's crying and
He's stoked.
gotta be crying. I mean, yeah, to beat all those guys that he went against.
Yeah.
Look how tall Matthias
That's
is.
what I was saying. He's
And
pretty
Alex.
Getting a silver medal, finally getting a medal after all these years.
Alex looks like he's about 25.
The tears are real. The emotion is real right there. That's what it's all about.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better story. This
Oh, yeah,
is the
he's
64th
stoked.
Yeah,
time
man.
the X Games have been contested. It's the first time it's ever
That's a
been
rough
contested.
crowd to compete against. You know what I mean? Those guys are
This sport is
just so
absolutely
advanced.
changed this country.
Yeah.
We have two Japanese riders on the podium, including your
Now, here's what's interesting to think 20 years down the road when these guys are going, oh my God, look at what these guys are doing. What could you possibly be doing, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, if Jumelin's riding at 44 and this guy's only 20, he's still going to be possibly competing at that point.
Alex looks like he's got another 100 years.
Yeah.
Competing on this stage.
Oh, I guess that wraps this up.
Yeah.
They're just doing the award ceremony. Anything you want to say before we go?
Well, that was just fascinating.
Yeah, right. Mind blowing.
Fascinating.
I want to try and make it next year to the X Games. I want to see all of it.
I'm not going through 5 hours of customs, man.
Well,
No
yeah,
way.
not in Japan. Not if it's in Japan or if there's huge COVID lockdown stuff. But if it's like in America or something, that's different.
Maybe if you fell on the ground and had like a seizure, you know, we could get like carted out.
They'd probably just send us back to our country.
Doesn't matter. You're coughing up blood, but you gotta wait.
All right, well, that wraps up the video. As always, comment if you have a video you want to see us do a commentary on. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Anything you want to say before we go other than that?
Thanks for joining us. You guys have a good day.
All right, we'll see you guys later.